While a common urban myth, there is no scientific facts for the phenomenon known as time travel through either alleyways, airports, landscapes, boats or any man-made object or medium. However, for the purpose of the following story, let's just assume it could be true. Jonathan Parks knew about the 17th floor. Everyone at Watchtower Systems did. No one talked about it openly, but the silence itself carried weight. The kind that pressed into your thoughts when the office lights flickered too long. Or when the elevator took just a second too long to arrive. There was no 17th floor on any official blueprint. No button for it in the elevator. No mention in onboarding documents or maintenance logs. And yet, people knew. Level 17 only ever appeared when a person had reached the absolute bleakest they could be. It was 2:13 a.m. when Jonathan finally broke. The office was empty. Rows of silent desks stretched into dim corners, monitors asleep. The hum of servers, a low mechanical heartbeat beneath everything. His screen still glowed. Final notice. The words blurred as he stared at them. Termination. Immediate. No appeal. No explanation beyond performance decline. 6 years of his life, reduced to a paragraph. His hands trembled. He thought about the rent due in 9 days. The unanswered messages from his sister. The quiet apartment that had stopped feeling like a home months ago. The kind of exhaustion that wasn't sleep deep, but soul deep. He stood slowly. Not thinking, just moving. The elevator doors slid open with a soft chime. Inside, the mirrored walls reflected someone he barely recognized. He pressed the button for the lobby. The doors closed. The descent began. 16. 15. 14. Then. A flicker. The lights dimmed, then steadied. The display stuttered. 13. 12. It stopped. A soft ding echoed. The display read. 17. Jonathan froze. His breath caught halfway in his chest. No, he whispered. There was no button for 17. There never had been. The doors slid open. The hallway beyond was wrong. It looked like the office. But not quite. The carpet was the same pattern, but faded, threadbare in patches. The overhead lights flickered unevenly, casting long, shifting shadows. The air smelled stale, like something abandoned long ago. He stepped out. The doors shut behind him with a heavier thud than before. "Hello," he called. No answer. The silence wasn't empty, it was dense. Pressing in. He walked forward slowly. Desks lined the open floor, but they were coated in dust. Chairs lay tipped over. Monitors cracked or missing entirely. A calendar hung crooked on a far wall. He approached it. The paper was yellowed. Brittle. The date. He frowned. It didn't make sense. The year read. 2126. His chest tightened. That's not right. He laughed under his breath, a thin, fragile sound. Some kind of prank. But no one was there to hear it. He ran back to the elevator, pressed the call button. Nothing. He pressed it again. Harder. Still nothing. Come on, come on. The panel was dead. No lights. No response. The doors didn't even exist anymore. Where they had been was now a warped metal frame, partially collapsed. As if it had been forced open decades ago and left to rust. His stomach dropped. This isn't real. He turned slowly, taking it all in again. The decay. The silence. The wrongness of everything. This isn't real. He found the stairwell. The door creaked as he pushed it open. Inside, concrete steps spiraled downward into darkness. Emergency lights flickered faintly. He descended carefully. Each step echoed too loudly. The air grew colder. Thicker. When he reached what should have been the lobby, he stopped. The doors leading outside were gone. Or rather, they were there, but shattered. Beyond them. Nothing. Not a city. Not streets. Not even ruins in the way he expected. Just a vast, empty expanse. The ground was cracked and grey, stretching endlessly beneath a dull, overcast sky. No movement. No sound. No life. He stepped outside. The wind, if it could be called that, carried no warmth. No scent. Just emptiness. He turned back toward the building. Watchtower Systems. Or what remained of it. The sleek glass tower he knew was gone. In its place stood a skeletal frame. Exposed beams twisted against the sky. Most of the structure had collapsed long ago. Only a fraction remained standing. Including. He looked up. Where the 17th floor should be. A jagged section still clung to the structure. Intact. Waiting. Days, or what he assumed were days, blurred together. There was no sun to track, no real sense of time. Inside the building, he scavenged what little remained. Old vending machines yielded nothing but dust. Water systems were dry. He found a storage room with sealed containers. Emergency supplies, long forgotten. Some were still intact. Enough to survive. But survival wasn't the problem. Isolation was. The silence began to change him. He talked to himself. At first to stay sane. Then because it felt like someone needed to hear him. "I didn't ask for this," he said once, sitting against a cracked wall. His voice echoed faintly. "No one asks for anything anymore, do they?" The words felt wrong, not entirely his. He became obsessed with the 17th floor. If it brought him here, maybe it could take him back. He climbed the broken stairwells daily, navigating unstable sections of the building. Each ascent was dangerous. Metal groaned under his weight. Concrete crumbled beneath his feet. But eventually, he reached it. Or what was left of it. The 17th floor was different. Untouched. While everything else had decayed, this space remained eerily preserved. Clean. Intact. As if time had refused to touch it. The elevator stood there. Doors closed. Pristine. Waiting. His heart pounded. This is it. He stepped forward. Pressed the call button. Ding. The doors opened instantly. Warm light spilled out. The interior was exactly as he remembered. Untouched. Perfect. The panel inside still had no button for 17. Only the standard floors. He stepped in slowly. Hands shaking. Okay. If this brought me here, it can take me back. He pressed the lobby. The doors closed. The elevator began to move. Numbers ticked down. 16. 15. 14. His breath quickened. Come on. 12. 11. The lights flickered. His chest tightened. Please. 8. 7. The movement slowed. Too slow. The hum deepened into something strained. Then, it stopped. Ding. The display read. 17. No, 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 no. The doors opened again. The same ruined hallway. The same dead silence. He stumbled back. No. He hit the panel repeatedly. It's wrong. It's wrong. But the elevator didn't respond. The doors stayed open. Mocking. He tried everything. Different floors. Different sequences. Closing his eyes before pressing buttons. Holding his breath. Speaking aloud. Saying nothing. Even waiting, hoping the bleakest point would shift. But nothing changed. Every attempt returned him to 17. To this future. To this emptiness. Eventually, the truth settled in. Heavy. Unavoidable. Maybe it didn't take him through time. Maybe it took him to a version of time. A possibility. A warning. Or a place you only reached when there was nowhere else left to go. On what might have been his final attempt, he stood inside the elevator again. Still. Quiet. Different. Not panicked. Not desperate. Just tired. He looked at his reflection. Really looked. I get it now, he said softly. This isn't about leaving. He pressed no buttons. Just stood there. Waiting. For the first time. He wasn't trying to escape. He wasn't thinking about the past. Or the future. Just the present. The doors closed. The elevator moved. But this time, he didn't watch the numbers. When the doors opened again, light flooded in. Bright. Warm. Alive. Voices. Movement. The hum of a working office. Jonathan blinked. He stood in the lobby. Whole. Intact. Present. The world as he knew it. He staggered forward. Someone glanced at him. Late night? They asked casually. He stared at them, unable to speak. Then, slowly, he nodded. Yeah, he said. Something like that. No one ever mentioned the 17th floor again. Not to him. Not around him. But sometimes, when the elevator lights flickered, he would glance at the panel. Just to be sure. Just to confirm. That 17 wasn't there. And every now and then, for the briefest moment, he thought he saw it. Waiting.